The Art of Not Quite Knowing. Short story by JameliaAlicia. Never knowing was the answer. Mira never knew, or she thought she knew. That was the question that was circling her mind, and it seemed so unnatural to consider. You could say that life made her confused, but this confusion started in childhood, when things didn't go her way. This taught her a lesson to understand that life is unpredictable and a long road of unexpected answers. All this uncertainty made her question, what led up to this confusion? What caused this confusion? And she had no answers, only pauses and holds of breath to consider her next option of speaking. Life was a roller coaster of events that led to no answers. Mira was waiting for the day when doubt was unraveled to her, and she still had this slight hope in her belly. She forgot which way the supermarket entrance faced, waved back at people who weren't waving at her, and regularly checked her phone for the time while already holding it in her hand. She once got on the wrong bus, twice, while trying to go to the same place she'd worked at for 3 years. And yet, somehow, Mira was never confused about the important things. Important things seemed to stay in her head like a stain she couldn't get rid of on her t-shirt last Christmas from her gravy and mash. She knew she wanted a life that felt honest. She knew she liked mornings more than nights, books more than parties, and tea that was strong enough to taste like courage. She knew she wanted to do work that mattered, even if it didn't impress anyone at dinner tables. Her purpose sat quietly inside her, steady and unmoving like a compass that never shook. Everything else, though, a blur. Then there was Theo. Theo worked 2 floors above her and smiled like he'd just thought of something kind but hadn't decided whether to say it out loud. Mira had been confused about him from the start, about whether he liked her, whether that lingering glance meant anything, whether she should stop overthinking every interaction. So when Theo asked her out, she said yes too quickly, then spent the rest of the day confused about how she'd said yes. On the evening of the date, Mira stood in front of her mirror holding 2 nearly identical outfits. "Which one is more me?" she asked her reflection. Her reflection looked unsure. The cafe was warm and familiar, the kind of place where nothing dramatic ever happened, except apparently first dates. Theo arrived on time, Mira arrived early and had already finished half a drink out of nervous politeness. Mira continued to overthink and eventually got physical exhausted and stopped. All this thinking for one night, will it mean something in the future? Conversation came easily, which confused her. She laughed without planning to, she forgot to monitor her posture. At one point, she told a story that made no sense and somehow made it worse by explaining it further. Theo listened like he wasn't waiting for his turn to speak. Still, Mira felt the confusion